Hi everyone, Ben Wakely here. Hope you've had a good afternoon. Tonight we're going to go over 5 things not to do when selling your home. And thanks very much for bearing in mind with a bit of patience this afternoon. I was doing a little bit of running around, got a property sold. So very happy for the family. They've been looking for a while and great people, and really enjoyed dealing with them, and also sold another property for my number one clients, the Gray brothers, the Gray Construction Crew, Andrew and Rob. So I think they've raced off out to dinner, so hopefully they'll enjoy that dinner tonight. So we sold one this afternoon, so very good, and all parties are happy. So do apologise for coming a little bit later this evening, just got home just before. So today we're going to cover those topics of 5 things not to do when you're selling your home. So look, I'll start with the first one and we'll get right into it. Basically, I see a lot of people disregard their first impressions for their home. So don't disregard your first impressions, and that can be your street presence, so being your front yard, the way your property looks from the street. Make it as appealing as possible. You don't want your house buyers looking at the photos or looking at it on something like realestate.com or domain.com.au and then going for a drive-by and it looks really messy, paint or something's falling off it, and there's stuff in the yard. So make it as clean and crisp as possible. So that's the number one mistake. Don't make those first impressions count, so don't disregard those first impressions. The second problem that I see a little bit is obviously when you're selling someone's home, it's a difficult conversation to have with people sometimes that their furniture may not suit the home. So don't get too attached to your own furniture. Treat it as a display home, and that may mean getting a stylist in, or someone that's a property stylist, or hire furniture. So your furniture may be comfy and you may love it, but it may not make your home look in the best light. So it's another common mistake I see, that people may, just want to use their own furniture instead of hire furniture, or, they could go out and buy some new furniture that may be going into their next property. So just don't just have your old furniture, and it could be cluttered. So, that could even involve getting a stylist in, or dealing with whichever agent you choose to come in and get their advice on to present the home as best as possible, and really run it like a nice display home that people walk in, can see themselves living there. Remove all the clutter so people can move around the house. It'll actually make your house look a lot bigger. So that's definitely something to do. The third one I want to cover is be neutral. So that really massive purple wall in your house, buyers mightn't like that, and a lot of people mightn't like it. So as much as homes, when you move into them, you can make them how you suit and make them individual for yourself. I wouldn't be doing that for sale. So remain neutral. With the colours being, like a white or, a lighter grey, and very neutral colours will cover a lot more of the market. And look, if people want to put a feature wall in, I'm not against it, but that feature wall may be something that they want to add. So even if you add a feature wall yourself, I'm using this example of a painted wall at the moment, you may just want to use a neutral colour and let them decide on what they want to do. They may want to put wallpaper on it. Again, stay very neutral. I see too many people, put their own mark on the property, but that's not what the buyers want or what the market wants. And you've got to pick. Again, I've spoken previously in some of these in these Sunday night talks as well, and answered people's questions, that you may just want to keep it neutral and not make it too difficult for the buyers. So we'll move on to number 4. So natural light. When you're selling your home, make sure that you expose your property to as much natural light as possible. I see it too often where you walk in and the windows, are closed, you've got the blinds down, the shutters closed, whatever it is. You want to let as much natural light in there, and if you can't let as much natural light in. You may want to look at things as, basically whether you put an extra window in or a skylight to add extra light. It's going to make your home look a lot better. Nothing puts buyers off more than it being a little bit dark and dingy. So make sure that you put as much natural light into the property as possible. I see too many people realistically not put too much emphasis on it. So make sure you get that natural light into the property and don't disregard that. And the fifth one is choosing your agent. Now, a lot of people will, be very commission-based and numbers-based, which is fine. But look, when interviewing an agent, ask them questions such as how long they've been selling. Ask them what similar properties they've been selling in the last 6 to 12 months. And ask them what commission they charge. Because, we often hear that, the cheapest agent can also be the most expensive agent in the way that, they haven't had the experience in selling similar properties. They haven't been in the game too long, and that's not a problem. And some agents, that haven't been in the game too long mightn't have as many listings, so they may be able to put more time into your property, but are they going to have that experience and in negotiating you the best possible price? So the fifth mistake is basically just choosing your agent to sell your property and just choosing them on commission base, because as I said, the cheapest agent might turn around and be the most expensive in a way because they end up costing you dollars at the end of the day. So they're the 5 mistakes I see commonly made by homeowners when they're getting their property ready to sell, and they're the points that I wanted to cover today. I do have a couple more questions that came through during the week, and I'll get them asked to me now.
So one question's by Karen. Should I paint my house before it goes to market?
So Karen has asked, should she paint her house before it goes to market? Obviously, I'd have to see what her house looks like. So Karen, I'd love to have a look at your house, or if you can send me a photo. Look, definitely a new coat of paint. It goes back to that first point that I made, that the first impressions count. So when people are doing a drive-by or they're coming past, they'll see the property, and if it's looking shiny and new, you're going to attract more buyers to the property. So look, sometimes you don't need to paint. There's a very underestimated form of getting it done pretty easily, which is getting your house washed. It can come up just looking like a brand new paint job. So Karen, I'd have to have a look at your property, but in saying that, if it is in need of a paint, I'd definitely look at doing it. And if it's just looks like it might need more of a house wash, that it'd be a lot cheaper. So we'll move on to the next one.
Next question is from Simon. Would you buy before you sell or sell before you buy?
Yes, so Simon's asked, would you buy before you sell or sell before you buy? Now, Simon, I get asked this a lot, and I talk to a lot of people that haven't made their next move yet, so they want to hold off. My preference is always to sell before you buy. This being that you never know what's going to happen with the market. You want to also not have the stress of having to sell under pressure and, by a certain date. So my recommendation is always to sell before you make that next move. And yes, you might be in a hurry once you sell to get out of the home, to get into your new home, but I definitely would sell before you buy, because it just takes all the stress out of it. You can then take your time with looking for a new home. Don't feel pressured. Say if it's a 30-day settlement, that you have to find your dream home within, say, a month's time, or it could be 60 days in 2 months' time. Take your time. You may take time out of the market. You may look to rent or have some other options. It could be living with family or could be living with friends, but I wouldn't be rushing into it. I see a lot of people that have already bought and then have gotten me in over the years, or gotten other agents in over the years, and they need to sell, and then it becomes a desperate sale and can sit on the market for a little bit longer. And then all of a sudden there's great stress and great intensity, and then they end up selling for a cheaper price. And in negotiations, if a buyer knows that you've already bought somewhere, it sort of it takes basically it takes a little bit out of the negotiation, because they know you have to sell, or that you're in a position where you'd really like to sell. So answering your question, Simon, I'd sell that property before you buy your next one. So thanks very much, guys, and thanks for hanging in there tonight. I do apologise again, but as I said, I was out helping some clients out today with their next move, and also helping my number one client sell their property. So thanks very much, and I hope you have a great long weekend, and I'll catch you next week. Thank you.